Well, welcome to the BNI Effect, the home of amazing conversations with Brisbane BNI members, sharing tips on how you can get the most out of your BNI membership. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member, bring you yet another exciting interview with a Brisbane BNI member. This episode is episode number 77, and today's guest is Cindy Reyneke. Cindy, hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you. Tony, very well.
Well, that's great. Well,
It's
thank you for being here. Well, why don't we kick it off by you sharing a little bit about who you are and your business and the services that you provide.
Thank you. Yes, I was born in South Africa. We immigrated 17 years ago. Been in a sales capacity as a sales executive for the past 35 years. For the first 10 years in Australia, I was in the pharmaceutical space, and for the last 7 years in the real estate space. So currently, I work for Aurora Property. We've just been ranked number one real estate in Brisbane, which is quite an achievement. Thank you.
Congratulations.
And yeah, thank you. So I work as a sales executive for them on the inner north side of Brisbane.
So you used to be in pharmaceutical sales, you were saying, and then you transitioned across to selling houses. What prompted the transition, Cindy?
I was quite isolated, I felt, because I was account manager for in the pharmaceutical space, which meant I looked after health food stores nationwide. And it got a bit isolated for me because a lot of the work was on the phone and not in person. And I'm quite an extrovert. So I love meeting people face to face. And yeah, that prompted it. And I've always been interested in real estate. We've renovated a lot of our properties through the years. And, just the general basic, interest in real estate.
And did you find that transition easy or challenging?
It was really challenging. It was really challenging. I never realized how hard it would be to get known in a certain area. In the real estate, it's really important who knows you and not who you know. So that's a really difficult space to move into. And then to acquire listings, it's extremely difficult. And then there's a lot of marketing behind every single sale, marketing of yourself, of your company, listing presentations. Yeah, it's a lot of work that goes into just acquiring one listing.
And so where did the BNI thing come into play, Cindy?
So I actually was asked to sub for somebody 7 years ago, and it was electrifying. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I walked into this room, 45 businessmen. They started on time, they finished on time, and there was business being passed back and forth. I love the structure of it and the accountability of it. Yeah, it was excellent.
And so 7 years ago, so that would have lined up with when you started your real estate career, give or take.
That's correct. That's correct. I didn't, however, feel that I could go straight into a BNI chapter at that stage. I wanted to just gain more experience. And the real estate seat is one of the first to always go. So it was really hard finding a chapter. It took me a couple of years to find the right space. I visited a couple of chapters, was involved with one or two that was thinking of launching in areas. And then in 2023, a new chapter launched, BNI Corporate in Spring Hill in Brisbane. I was invited there. They had the real estate seat open, and it was magic. From the first second I walked in, I knew I was home. It was great.
Amazing. And what was it about that meeting with corporate that led you to believe that it was magic?
I think, I was greeted at the front door on my name. I was like, "Oh, Cindy, we were expecting you." So from that first initial contact, I thought that was really important. And then throughout the meeting, I realized the value of the BNI. I realized the referrals that was being passed and the close of they immediately had closed business. So we were launched in February 2023. I joined in March 2023, and we've just clocked $2 million for the past 12 months.
Well, that's amazing. Congratulations
Yeah,
to you
it
and,
was
and
absolutely, yeah, it
and
was
to your
really good.
fellow members. Cindy, and as I mentioned at the start, this is episode number 77. Now, I can tell you honestly, in the 77 episodes, I've heard BNI describe plenty of things, but never electrifying and never magic. That is amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was they a couple of months ago they broke into our house. Unfortunately, we were sleeping. They came into our yard, stole my car, but it was the next day was my BNI chapter, and I said to my husband, I think I need to stay home today. It's too much going on, police, yeah. And he's like, no, no, go to your people. And I did. And everybody's very sympathetic. And yeah, it was just, I had to go to my BNI chapter. I couldn't not go. So yeah.
Wow. I mean, obviously a horrific story, a horrific situation to go through, but gee, isn't it nice that you've got that comforting, like-minded people that can get around you and support you in your time of need? And probably we don't talk about it enough, Cindy, in the fact that people come into BNI, and one of the key things is obviously to generate referrals and revenue for our business. But you're creating this tribe, this community of people that are there and have got your back when things aren't going the way that you'd like them to.
Absolutely. And our BNI chapter tend to share our difficulties as well and our challenges in our business. We've got a question every week. It's general questions, but last week our question was, what was your challenge this week in your business and how did you overcome it? And the story shared is so valuable, so valuable.
That's amazing, isn't it? So you're sharing amongst each other and helping each other out. And I have many sayings, Cindy, but one is a rising tide lifts all boats. So obviously, by sharing with each other,
Absolutely.
we're helping each other lift up, which is amazing.
Absolutely. That's absolutely how I found the BNI.
Fantastic. How has being a part of BNI influenced your approach to networking?
Before BNI, most of my business was generated through existing clients, and it was a bit unstructured. But since BNI, it's a structured environment, and the networking. I've just formed really long-term relationships, and for me, it's honestly going from a casual encounter when it's outside of before BNI to now really looking at that long-term partnerships with people. If you're not in a structured networking, it's casual, it's passing. You go to an event, you meet somebody, you hand over a business card, but you might not follow up with them. They might not follow up with you. But with BNI, it's structured in a way that it's ongoing. It's long-lasting relationships.
It's enduring, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's a wonderful way to summarize it. How do you measure your success of your participation in BNI, Cindy? Have you got any specific metrics or stories that highlight your success?
Yeah, so behind me here, I've been very fortunate enough to win a couple of awards. I've won in 2023 Most Valuable Member, and the year after I Member of the Year. And then I've just won an award now again. But that's not really, my what drives me. For me, I really have a focus of looking how I can help the rest of my members in my BNI. So in terms of how it's helped me, I think it's given me the structure. And it's given me a way to always look for business for our whole chapter and always thinking of them as a whole. And yesterday I had an appraisal of a property, but it was tenanted. I walked in, the tenant hopped to the front door on one foot, and I was like, I immediately, before I said hello to him, I thought about a personal injury lawyer that can help him. So always, it's just be a nicest part of my thinking every day. So yeah.
Yeah, and so regardless of the situation that you're encountering, you're always thinking about, well, is there, someone that I know that could help that particular individual?
Exactly right. Exactly right. So,
Good on
and
you.
it's just for so many members, I've got every single, possible scenario covered. And sometimes it circles back to you. Somebody on Facebook a couple of weeks ago mentioned she's looking for a mortgage broker. I suggested in a private message to her my mortgage broker, and that has just come back to me today as an appraisal for my property. She forgot that I was the one suggesting the mortgage broker, but that came back to me via the mortgage broker. Now I can connect our property manager. So yeah, it's just that ongoing, always thinking how can it intertwine.
Yeah, but that is givers gain in action right there. Givers gain,
100%.
givers gain comes sort of the universal law, the law of reciprocity, and there it is. When you give without expectation, you were just wanting to introduce your mortgage broker contact to that person, not thinking about yourself, just how could I give, how could I help, and then the universe has come through, rewarded you, as you said, it's come back 180 degrees. So that's outstanding.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Good
you.
on you. What advice would you give to new BNI members, Cindy, to make the most out of their membership?
So the one-on-ones, obviously, that's crucial. I think what you do at your one-on-one is also crucial. How you sell your business, or how do you learn about each other's business and how you can refer to each other. But I think most importantly, I get a lot of questions at the first one-on-one from the new members. The most irregularly question asked is, how will I be able to refer people? That's their biggest fear, is will they be able to refer? And I always got this story. I'm going, well, where's your favorite coffee shop? Oh, no, just down the road. So the guy, your barista there, do you think he owns a house? Oh, yeah, no, he lives around the corner. Oh, he'll definitely need a smoke alarm person. At some stage, he might sell his property. His wife might fall down the stairs. So, and then I just give them scenarios, and then I can see the new members relax during that one-on-one, and it gives them, oh, okay. And just giving them ideas how to refer is really important as well. So, and then the second thing I would just add to that is to really get onto the technology side of the BNI, using the app correctly, tapping into the podcasts, just learning about BNI as soon as possible, and how it can, that givers gain concept and the values, our core values that we stand for.
Well, one of the great things about BNI, Cindy, as you know, is there's so many resources. It's not just join up and be a part of a chapter. Yes, that's part of it, but there's an
Yep.
enormous amount of resources there that, should you want to, and we encourage new members and all members too, is really get in and maximise all the resources, the podcast, hopefully this podcast, but others,
Absolutely.
but others as well, to
Absolutely.
make the most out of your membership.
Exactly. And I think when you join a chapter for the new members, I can see how overwhelmed they are when they join and they don't really know how it works. And I just take it for myself how my confidence has grown. Although I'm in front of clients every single day in their homes, presenting myself and my company, BNI has taught me to be confident and stand up my first 45 seconds, I could barely get a word out. I was so nervous. And now I don't even think about it. I tell them a story mostly about what happened during my week. And that's very engaging. And I teach something that's happening in the real estate industry. So yeah, it's ever evolving, but it's if I will be ever be grateful for the opportunity to be part of the chapter and to, just be confident and learn from the BNI.
How did BNI teach you to become more confident?
I think that weekly presentations for sure, to structure it, to be specific, to be educational in that 45 seconds, they talk about the elevator pitch. Yes, it's just given me a lot of structure around there. There's so much on all of the podcasts, your podcast included. There's just structure around how to do your weekly presentation. So, and we in our chapter have power teams, and we discuss that in the power teams as well. So it's really, yeah.
Fantastic. What's next for your business? Have you got any exciting projects or expansions on the
Yeah,
horizon, Cindy?
yeah, that's so our sales department at Aurora Property started 1 year ago, and we started with one office in Brisbane, and we now got 4 offices. We started with 5 agents, we now 25 agents, and we started with 4,000 rentals, and we now have 12,000 across Brisbane and Sydney. And we've now integrated the websites as well. So we currently hold and own one of the biggest rent rolls in Australia. So Yeah, so expansion, but never losing sight of where we started, and definitely quality over quantity. We've had quite a few agents just wanted to join us, but for us, it's more about our service side is really important, and it's not, it's not a numbers game for us. It's really treating every client very special
And how
in
do you
their
see
journey.
and how do you see your relationship with BNI evolving as your business continues to grow, Cindy?
Yeah, I think just that ongoing relationships and partnerships. I have at this stage, I would say my referrals most probably are from about 10 people in our chapter often. And the onus is on me to really engage with the other members to ensure that I build that long-standing relationship with every single person in the BNI chapter. So there's definitely a lot of growth still for us as a chapter, for myself in the chapter. But yes, that trust that we built, the credibility that I've had to build up. One person giving me a referral that turns into a listing that ends up with a 5-star review. Then it gives other members the confidence to refer their clients to me as well.
If you could share one piece of wisdom with our viewers or our listeners, whether they're in BNI or not, what would that be, Cindy?
I love that question, by the way. I thought it was really good. Yeah, so for me, I think every single conversation that you have, being engaged in that. A lot of times I'm in a conversation and I see the people already thinking of the next question. And one of our members shared recently, and I'm going to steal it from him for my wisdom piece. He said, when you're speaking, you're sharing the knowledge that you've already gained. But when you're listening, you're learning.
Profound.
I think so too. I loved it. Yeah, so it's one of our members, Mahendra. He's shared it. I think it was his grandmother that shared it, and she was like, "Don't speak too much. Just active listening is so important."
Well, we got two of these and one of these, right? So listen,
Correct.
listen at least twice as much.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, Cindy, how can listeners learn more about you, your business, or get in touch with you?
Yeah, thank you. On LinkedIn, I'm just Cindy Reyneke at Aurora. On Instagram, cindy.aurora, and on Aurora Property Brisbane. A website is most probably the easiest way.
Amazing. Well, if you're interested in selling your home or putting your home up for rent, please reach out to Cindy. She'll be only too happy to help you out. Thanks, Cindy. That wraps up
Tony,
another.
thank you.
My pleasure. That wraps up another episode of the BNI Effect. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. I want to extend a huge thank you to our guest, Cindy Reyneke, for sharing her insights with us. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the BNI Effect on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube. And please leave us a review. Until next time, give more, trust more, grow more.